reading. Any information that you may be looking for to book a personal session with me, I will have listed in the description box, so just check there. Also, if you do want to see future lives from me, when I do like personal readings, when I do general readings, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like the video. So it lets me know that you resonate. But let's get into it, Aries. So what is the overall energy around you at the moment? What is the overall energy around Aries? First card we have is the Fool card. Of course, your energy will show up, okay? So with the Fool card, this is seeing that a new approach and a new outlook on life makes things so much better. Aries, you could be tapping into more of a happier or uplifted time period by seeing that fresh starts, yes, are scary, but there's so much beauty within starting fresh or trying a new approach to life. Also, you could be seeing that in you just kind of saying F it instead of trying to like control the outcome of how things play out for you, or trying to be so in control to where it makes you feel like you have no freedom. That there's an aspect of life that you're tapping into, Aries, that's giving you this sense of freedom and also gratitude for the space that you're in. Even though it is uncomfortable, even though it is confusing, it's an opportunity for you to essentially start fresh though. Okay, I also have the Knight of Swords. Some of you could be having like this new attitude and it's giving you this new sense of focus, a new sense of drive. Okay, you could also be realizing that the more that you're so focused on like an outcome, the more that it takes you from progression. Because I notice how this Knight of Swords energy is kind of going the opposite direction than the Fool card when you look at it the way I laid it down. So you could be realizing too, in you having so much of a focus in terms of like, oh, I want this outcome to be the case, or this past outcome, I didn't expect it to happen this way. I need to go back and I need to fix it. The more that you keep trying to go backward to fix the past, it doesn't really happen that way. The only way that you can really change the past is in the present moment, which will simultaneously change the future too. So I think that this understanding is like slowly unraveling for a lot of you, that your focus needs to be, your focus needs to be on what the future has in store for you. And a lot of you are going to be getting to a point of clarity like you've never been in. I'm going to be completely honest. I also see you could be finding yourself just enjoying the little things, like taking a walk, talking to people out in your neighborhood could give you like a new perspective as well. If you've been like spending way too much time for you going out of the house, you going out of your way to get out of that funk, or like spending too much time like cooped up, your own energy is going to also be like very liberating for you guys like over the next week or so. So be open to it. Now, what is the advice my Aries need to hear at this moment? What is the advice? So we have the Queen of Wands. We have the Page of Wands. We have the Seven of Cups. And we have the Five of Wands. So the advice that I'm getting, Aries, it's important that you are pouring all your energy into you in the sense of doing things that make you feel good, make you feel motivated. Whether that's changing up your look, doing your hair, writing, going for walks, doing new things too is what's going to help you feel, like I said, inspired, especially since you guys are the sign of like spontaneity. You are the sign of like creativity, taking a leap of faith. So getting into your essence, especially for my Aries who have been scared to maybe be your sign, maybe not acting so Aries like in terms of being afraid to do the things that are daring, but in you taking a new approach to a way that you're taking action to your life, doing the opposite of what maybe you've done previously and have realized doesn't necessarily work, is going to be like the right move. Now with the Seven of Cups and the Five of Wands here as well, if for my singles, you have been dating and maybe you've been running into individuals where you don't know what their genuine intentions are. Do you genuinely want to deal with me because you see a future in this, or are you looking to have fun? Are you just saying words, or are your actions actually going to line up with what your words are saying? It's important that you're allowing people to also show you who they are, but also listening to your intuition, not your temporary emotions in the moment. Because again, I always tell you guys this, emotions change constantly, but your intuition, your level of logic, that is just going to be intact. And you having a level of being able to see through things, and also being able to recognize whether or not people's actions and words do match up as well. That's going to tell you everything that you need to know. So if you've been in a state of confusion and wondering like who's genuine, who's not, and this is beyond love, friendship wise as well, it's going to require you to tune out how you feel about the situation in terms of the emotional piece, but more so how you feel from an intuitive level. How does this person make you feel? Do they make you feel unsettled versus angry? Like emotions and feeling unsettled or having like a gut intuition or a gut feeling that something's not right is totally different. It's two different things. So just kind of know the difference between the two. Oh, also for my creatives, it's important that you're not like pigeonholing yourself to doing one thing. If you're multifaceted, so be it. There's no need for you to make yourself small or be in this energy of like playing yourself to be small. Be open to exploring multiple things. You don't have to be stuck in a mold of how things are supposed to be done or doing things one way. Now, what is the challenge my Aries need to overcome over the next week or so? We have the Queen of Swords, we have the Queen of Cups, we have the Knight of Cups, and we have the Crown of Swords. So we have a lot of air, water energy. This could be that zodiac sign. This could be a boss. This could be anybody, to be honest. But for a lot of you, it could be making certain decisions or standing on certain decisions that you've already made. That could be a little bit challenging. Also, you could have certain emotions that are coming up during this time frame in terms of things that you really, really want to do, but maybe you're waiting to like figure out the logistics around that. Like maybe you're wanting to get a new place and you're still having to figure out the logistics around that. Or maybe you want to go on a vacation or something and there's things that you still need to figure out. I think it's also sticking to certain plans too. Maybe you're setting plans up to do things one way and then maybe you feel differently about it, and maybe you want to approach things from a different angle, and it's just the questioning. So that's something you're going to have to work through for this week. But also communication is another thing that I'm getting. Like clearly getting an answer from someone or you clearly expressing how you feel also could be a bit of a challenge. And there could be a desire to do it, but either some of you are deciding not to because you're like, no, I'm going to wait for that opportunity to either present itself, or you could be wondering why someone hasn't came forward and actually spoken their truth or offered an apology also. And this could be a little bit, confusing. Okay, so what are my Aries unaware of? I have the Seven of Wands in reverse. I have the Eight of Wands. I have the Devil. I have the Chariot and the Two of Swords. So Aries, what you're unaware of at the moment. So certain challenges that have been kicking you behind, okay? And you've been trying your best to be resilient. You've been trying your best to keep going. Those challenges are subsiding slowly. For a lot of you, I think the challenging part that you've been like stuck in is maybe realizing the fact that you're not like held back or limited to anything, and that you can do as you choose. Like for some of you, you've been still operating out of this energy as if like you're still in a relationship, but you're single, for instance. And maybe you're doing this unconscious to you. Like you just kind of stay on in your own energy and you close yourself off and you just don't know why. Well, that could be why. Another thing that you may be unaware of, like certain challenges that you could have had past tense are not those same challenges that you're experiencing now. And for a lot of you, it's like you're still going through this process of trying to wrap your head around certain things that maybe the answer is right in front of you, you're just not able to see it at the moment. So if you did take the blindfolds off and really just kind of looked at things from a different angle, you would have the understanding to feel free. Another thing that I'm seeing, I want to clarify this card. There could be a Cancer or a Capricorn of significance here. If some of you guys have recently like moved long distance, you could have certain people who you moved away from who are having a really hard time adjusting to the fact that you moved. I'm getting like a family member, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Capricorn individual. Okay, they could be having like a really, really hard time. Okay, what do my Aries need to avoid doing, entertaining for the next week or so? Okay, immediately it's going into giving attention to a situation that is like connected to deception, deceit, or anything where you're like intentionally staying away from. Don't give it any energetic attention. So when I say this, for example, maybe you have somebody that you know is like all the things of the things, right? Blatantly know this person has some things that they have to work on in terms of maybe, you know, having narcissistic traits, or just having some ways about themselves that they need to work on. What you need to avoid is giving that any energetic attention in the sense of like checking their page or like wondering what's up with them, because it's like they're stealing your energy in a way where you're not even aware of it, in a sense. So the more that you kind of feel that, you could be unconsciously like giving them your energy. Another thing I'm seeing, when it comes to some sort of like legal situation or legal battle you could be going through, whether this is divorce, a child support or custody issue, it's important that you don't give in to someone's petty antics in terms of like their reasoning behind the things that they're doing. Okay? Be very mindful of playing the game in terms of giving into that, or some sort of tit for tat battle. All right, let's pull some other cards to see what's going on with my Aries. What's the general energy around my Aries for the week ahead? So we have Globe, which represents possibility. So you could be in more of a space of wanting to know what else is next for you. Like, what is possible? If I did this and I started this, what would be the outcome? If I gave this person a chance and I, you know, went down this path, where would that take me? It's a lot of questioning, like what the possible outcomes are going to be, what the possible possibilities of how things are going to turn out are going to be. And that could be something that's heavily on your mind. Some of you also could be looking at traveling, maybe moving to a different part of the world and wondering where your opportunities may lie if you do that as well. I also have water, which represents surrender. So this is the energy of like surrendering to the process. A lot of you also are going to start to feel a lot better after you've had like one good cry or you've had a moment to kind of reflect and just kind of get into this energy of saying, F it. I'm going to let go of trying to control how things are playing out. I'm going to let go of things that don't want to be held onto, and I'm going to find peace in that. I also have mountain, which represents obstacles. So you could be seeing clear as day what you're having to like navigate your way around, basically. And this is kind of like the other card in this deck, which is mountains. But it's important to know that, yes, you can't physically move mountains with your hand, but you can go around them and you can try a different approach. So this week is about trying differently instead of trying harder. Anytime that you're having to force anything, it's because it's coming from a place of, I don't think that this is going to work. So that can create even more problems and even more difficulty by like doing things to like change the outcome in a way where it's just creating more resistance. So try differently instead of trying harder. We also have cloud, which represents distractions. So this does talk about cutting out like outside distractions. Some of you are realizing that certain things have been really keeping you from being focused. Whether this is like a source of entertainment, this could be maybe scrolling all day on social media. So being mindful about how much time is being spent on like certain sources of entertainment, on certain things that could take away your focus is a big thing here. And we also have Knot, which represents relationships. So this next week, another theme is going to be connected to just personal relationships around you, business relationships, friendship relationships, family relationships, and the quality of them, okay? The quality of them. Do I have relationships around me that feel like they're nurturing or feeding me? Or do I have certain relationships around me that I need to nurture, spend more time with because I know that this person's genuine? It's looking closely at the connections that are around you. Okay. Well, this is what I see, Aries. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful and to give you like an overview of what I see. If you enjoyed, thumbs up the video, subscribe, and I will talk to my Aries in the next one.